guys, welcome to the new shop. This is something that has been over a year in progress in planning to get this built and ready for classes, for hopefully in the future employees. But right now it is just me, unless I'm teaching a class. But this is the space we're working with, so I just want to take some time and walk you guys kind of how the shop flows, say if I'm making a knife or something. So let's get started. All right, so we're coming over here to the command center, which is a nice space for leather working, for gluing up handles, for hand sanding, dremeling, any kind of finish work is going to be done in this space. And it's great for classes to have students in the center of the shop, away from any kind of safety issues, and having multiple workspaces where they can work both sides of the table is really nice. But say we're making a knife. This is kind of where I start at. I start on my drafting table, drawing my design out, and that's key to making a knife is drawing it out first, because it kind of puts it in your head. So once I get a design out, then I have to forge it. So go over here to kind of walking towards the main area of the shop. We got some steel over there, still got to put that on some steel racks, and then moving into the actual forge area. So this is where the knife is going to be created at, or whatever I'm forging is going to be in this space. And you can tell I've kind of laid it out in a very efficient way, so I pretty much can almost stand in one spot and rotate around. And it's really important in a shop to be as efficient as possible. And that's the purpose for everything being kind of tight here, and to make that efficiency. So I can pull the piece out of the forge, then I can come right over here within a step or two, and I'm at the power hammer. So this is my Big Blue 65 power hammer. It is an air hammer, so it does use an air compressor, and it is absolute great power hammer. It's not too big where it's uncontrollable or you over smash your piece. It's very, very controllable and is a great size for general knife making. So I love this machine, and made quite a bit of knives on that. So over here to the side of it, we have a hydraulic press. This is a Coal Iron Works 12-ton press, and I mainly use it for straightening things. I do have a bunch of different dies with it where I can do different stuff like punching holes, but I mainly use it for setting welds on Damascus billets. So that's really, really handy for that. I incorporated a tong rack into the side of it, so I've got all my tongs right here, which is nice instead of them laying on the floor or hanging off the anvils. And then we've got this monster vise. Don't know what year it's from, but it's a massive vise, very handy to have in a shop, especially knife making. You can use it for straightening and things of that nature. Also have a surface grinder over here. Haven't used it for anything yet. It's a fairly new tool in the shop and a new tool to me. So still kind of working on getting it up and running for any kind of production stuff that I might be doing. So back to the forging area, we have our main anvils here. This is probably the main anvil. It's a big hay button, 207-pound hay button, and that's where I'm going to be doing the majority of my forging when I'm planishing and straightening and things like that, as opposed to the power hammer. So that kind of covers the kind of forging area. I have a little bit of like machining, if you can include the surface grinder in that as well. But if you come over here, we've got more milling type machines, and this is my Bridgeport mill. Extremely useful piece of machinery to have really in any shop. You can do a lot with this machine. I primarily use it for guards on blades, because you can mill the guard slot where the tang goes through very, very quickly, and it makes life so much easier. So moving on to the next piece of machinery is something I've not used yet on an actual piece that I've sold, because I'm still learning it and practicing with it, is a pantograph. These are kind of old world machines. This one's from 1938. They're kind of obsolete in today's world with modern CNCs, but they're very handy in the knife making world still. So you do see them come up from time to time for a pretty cheap price. So I can't wait to do inlays with this, or keyhole integrals is really handy to do with this. So hopefully you'll see a video on that pretty soon. That kind of completes the forging and the milling area, kind of where the knife is created, you know, if you're doing a guard and then forging it out. From there, kind of go on to the other side of the shop. We have a very important room, probably one of my favorite rooms. I spent a lot of time in this room, and that is my new grinding room. So the grinding room is really critical, in my opinion, for anyone who is a knife maker, because it separates all of your dust and debris from the rest of your shop. It makes a nicer shop, a cleaner shop, and having dust collection. Got a massive metal dust collector, as well as a wood dust collector over here, and that helps cut down on the dust. It still gets dusty in here, but it helps cut down on the dust in the grinding room, so you don't have to clean it as often. But yes, this room is my favorite, mainly because my old shop didn't have a room. I just had my grinder sitting out in the open, and it generates so much dust, more than you realize, and so it made the space very, very messy. So this is a very important room to have. We do have kind of some in progress still in the back side of the shop. We've got a small woodworking area back there. We're building a bathroom out, so there's still some construction going on back there, but hopefully we'll have all that finished up soon. Last but not least, this corner of the shop, we've got a heat treating station, which is really handy to have. Especially having my own oven down here is handy, because I used to use my oven in my house, and that's not ideal. So having a dedicated one down here for tempering knives is really nice, as well as the heat treat oven here. Last thing, we have the office / break room. Call it kind of a clean room, because I usually keep the door clean or closed, so I don't have like a whole lot of dust coming in here, which is nice. And I'm gonna get a computer in here. We can do order fulfillments and things like that in the future. But right now it's more of a break room. So I think that covers everything here in the new shop. So if you got any questions about it, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll answer those for you. But other than that, thanks for visiting.